by the way, the way this works is you look at me, you ignore these guys. I don't know
Okay.
what they're doing behind the
Okay.
camera. Okay. And answer in complete sentences. If I ask, where'd you get your shoes? Don't say Lord and Taylor. I got my shoes at Lord
Okay.
and Taylor. Okay. And just keep your focus on me. And we've got a 2-camera shoot here. First question I ask everybody is give me your first and last name, and then spell that first and last name for me.
My name is Liz R. Summers, L-I-Z-R-S-U-M-M-E-R-S.
You've got an easy name, not everybody does. Okay. Let me ask you, how old were you when you became a firefighter? And Liz, why did you do it?
I was approximately 31 years old when I came on the job. I had no desire to become a firefighter. During that particular time, I was working for the police department. I was driving a paddy wagon, and we were waiting for the freeze to be lifted from the police department. Then they sent out a letter stating that the freeze had been lifted from the fire department, and they needed firemen at the time. So my best friend, who was like a little brother, who was working with the police department with me, I challenged him to come and fill out the applications just to see if we could do it, which I had no desire. He didn't want to do it, so I talked about him pretty badly and convinced him to come on. But we messed around and passed everything. And at that time, I was ready to back out. They told me, you need to resign from the police department, come to the fire department. I said, no way, Jose. So my friend talked about me the same way I talked about him, and that's how I ended up on the fire department.
Now, the women that they hired was the first of the crop. And I hear that the guys were just complete a-holes.
They were, and I won't say all of them were, because there were some that, recognized they were still women and were going to do, especially for me, I say with me, and were willing to assist if they could, but like many other jobs, you're going in where they're dominated by men, you're going to have these problems, because that means they are having to change, attitudes having to change, sleeping quarters having to change, everything having to change, and they started feeling threatened. So, yeah, some of them were.
Now, what about the physical requirements of the job? I was talking to Emma, and she was talking about going into fires and kicking doors down. And now, at age 31, did you have a family? I mean,
3 sons.
Okay, give me a complete sentence.
Oh, I had 3, yes, I did. I had 3 sons at the time. They were small. So that was more of a challenge for me at the time. But as far as the physical part of it, I taught phys ed, and I was coaching. I played a lot of basketball. So I was in shape coming into it. And so it wasn't that difficult going through a part, even though we had a lot of hard things, hard tasks to go through, challenges that we had to deal with, yes.
I'll ask you the same question I asked Emma. One of the first things that happens in a male-dominated industry is that people come with their pants unzipped. Was that a problem in this transition? And did you have to tell people to zip their pants?
No, I didn't run into that. I didn't run into the problem of telling me you got to zip your pants, you got to do that. Sleeping, the sleeping quarters that we had, you see, because they were not set up for the females. So coming under Chief Hamer's leadership, he was acting at that particular time, they had to maybe put up a curtain or put something else there, to try to protect that. But it was up to us to make sure also that you start sleeping in pants or sleeping in something. So that was pretty much an issue for it, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about the emotional roller coaster of being the first firewoman. Were there any crying nights? Were there any nights that you went home or were there any triumphant nights? What were the emotions that you experienced, and what caused some of those emotions?
Okay, I'm going to back up for a minute. When we went through recruit school, and I have to always give credit to A. Reginald Eves, who brought this class on. We had a class of 111, 7 women who just happened to be black, 11 white males, and the rest of them are black males. And so it was the largest class to ever go through recruit school. I finished number 1, and my friend that persuaded me to come on the fire department finished number 2 in that class. And I remember as we were going through recruit school, and A. Reginald Eves is the one who backed me up on my line. We said when we went into the burn building, he's probably about the first commissioner to ever actually go through the training, yeah. But he had to oversee everything. And he was the person that backed me up on the line. And I remember going through the training, it was the blizzard, had a blizzard outside, and it pulled out the ladder truck and had every piece of equipment out there. And I remember him coming out there saying, how do you expect them to learn in this type of weather? I don't ever want to see this again. So he